This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Jay Kelly, the new film from Academy Award nominee Noah Baumbach. George Clooney stars as an actor confronting his past and present on a journey of self-discovery, alongside Adam Sandler as his devoted manager. Critics are calling it a declaration of love to the chaotic art of filmmaking, with the Wall Street Journal praising it as a transcendent comedy drama. Jay Kelly is now playing in select theaters and on Netflix December 5th.
Hey, good evening, and welcome to the Uptown Parlay Podcast. Now your host, Ace.
Now we are recording.
Now we're recording
to the Uptown Parlay Podcast. We got Ace and Ants.
What up? What up? What up? Happy Thanksgiving, gobble gobble.
That's right. Happy Turkey Day.
Yeah, people. Turkey Day.
No,
so not, can't wait.
That's Ace? What I call it. I'm looking forward.
Can't
to
wait.
It. Can't wait. Driving down to New York. Gonna see, my brother and sister and all my cousins and my grandma still with us at 101 years old. So that's a blessing and all that good stuff. Hope everybody out there is able to spend Thanksgiving with somebody you care about or your family. Either way,
you do like me, you can turkey hop.
That's right. You can go to 4 or 5 different houses like Ant does.
Yep. Just load them up.
Load them up. Straight up. Now, we were talking about this before the show briefly started, but what is the deal with people first of all, people punching the ball out, but Jauan Jennings in the fight after the game with a safety I've never heard of, Trevon Moehrig.
Yeah, he's punching the wrong balls.
He punched him in the family jewels during the game, apparently, like right at the end during a fumble, and I see why he got suspended for a game after the fight, and I'm like, that's interesting. And he's kind of important because he's a large part of their offense and probably their best healthy wide receiver. Ricky Pearsall also working his way back from injury, so I guess you can go over on on Ricky Pearsall catches for the next game if you want to prop bet. But it does seem kind of surprising they both got suspended again. What?
Yeah, the NFL had to even it out. That they couldn't just spend one or the other. It was the retaliation part, I'm guessing, on this. But you know what? If it was me, I would have been punching him out too. But who knows? Maybe he might have did this for the mafia type of thing, so he's change up the prop bets.
Well, yeah, getting yourself suspended for a game is going to cost you a lot of money too. But I hear what you're saying. I don't know. I think it's honestly, if we're really talking about NFL player trying to fix a game, you can't get the quarterback because they're too high profile. Real talk, you need one guy and you just need one play. You need the long snapper. Okay? The long snapper just sails one over the holder's head. It's over. On a field goal or a punt, you just toss it way to the right and it just goes right by him. And that's it. Like that's 7 for the other team. Boom. The team don't cover.
I'm wondering though about back to this fighting thing. I'm wondering if NFL teams might actually do this in the long run, whatever. From this punching in the jewels to quit dudes spitting on people, whatever. I wonder if they're gonna do like how the NBA. Remember how the NBA used to do in the '90s? They'll have that one guy that was designated to be the enforcer, whatever. I wonder if they're gonna NFL might start doing that. They might have an enforcer type of person that's just there.
Because the whole game is enforcing. The whole game is just, I'm going to hit you as hard as I can. They're trying to make the game safer. Like, don't hit people directly in the head. No more helmet to helmet hits. Like, don't spear people. No slamming people into the ground. Stuff like that.
I know.
The whole game is enforcing.
I'm talking about.
But what I think they might ban punching the ball out because guys are, as we saw last week, guys are punching each other in the dick. So you can't really.
It was basically one incident, but it seemed like you did it on purpose.
Oh, guy didn't have the ball, so yeah.
But what I mean about the enforcer, but it could like have that guy on the bench. The coach just substitute him in. So after the play, he just comes and knock the other person out for what he like. Yeah, this for Pookie, pow, and just hit him, and he gets a fine, and he goes back, and everybody chips in, whatever. Like you did your job, enforcer. You should put him in his place.
That's kind of crazy, but I don't think they're going to encourage more violence and then in the
Who's
NFL.
like who's that defensive guy that used to be on the Saints? I know if Malik was here, he would have known what I'm talking about. The defensive guy that used to be on Sean Payton's team that did the Bounty Gate stuff. You might know. You know what I'm talking about.
The defensive guy? You mean
Yeah.
Jonathan Vilma?
No. The defensive coach
Oh, you mean
that was on
Greg?
the
Oh, What's Greg when he
Greg.
came back with
That
the
I think it's Greg
Greg
Williams, right?
Robinson, Greg
No,
Williams. Yeah, he
Greg.
was a
Yeah,
former
Greg Williams. Yeah. I mean,
former Buffalo Bills head coach.
it'd be basically going back to that type of times. We're going to put bounties on these people. You hit me, you hit my play in the nuts. We're gonna put bounty on your ass.
Man,
I'm telling you,
I
sooner or
don't
later
think
some of the stuff like gonna happen. You hitting
that
people
jokes,
in the
but
jewels. You're spitting on people and stuff like that. You're bringing up the wrong type of thing there. Yeah, hopefully these players stop doing that because it's supposed to be a brotherhood type of thing. All jokes aside.
they don't. Yeah, they don't have a lot. It seems there's a lot of lack of respect for each other. So it makes me wonder, like, what they're saying to each other during these games. So that's really where I'm at. That's where my head's at. It's like I wonder how far they're talking to each other, kind of crazy, because they're
It's
already
kind
out
of
on the
weird
field to
too.
tackle each other. So
Right.
I don't know, but a game check is kind of a big deal depending on how much money you make. So did he get? He got thrown out of that game, um, Jalen Ramsey, and then Jamar Chase is making a lot of bread. So one game check for him is a couple $1 million. So when they suspend you for a game, that means you don't get paid that week.
It's kind of weird that they're doing
Bank.
that though, because you're right. They basically wasn't being they wasn't being like this with other players. They'll be they'll keep it on the field. Then afterwards,
Yeah,
they'll shake hands or whatever and
or
talk like
not.
regular thing. Or not, yeah, just
Yeah,
not because we saw Justin Jefferson after their game. He was so upset that he just walked off the field. He gave one guy, the cameraman, a dap, and that was it. And he walked off.
yeah. So sometimes if you're pissed, you just leave the field. I imagine it happens sometimes. Emotions are running high. The game just ended, and you're like, "No, I'm not doing this. This isn't Little League. Screw this. I don't have to do this, and I'm leaving." Now, if you're the quarterback, you have to pretend at least, like, yeah, shake hands and get out of there quick. Or you can pull a Belichick, and after you lose every game, or whenever you lose a game, you just give the coach of the opposing team a limp-wristed handshake, and then you leave. They only really do that. They don't do that much. Like in the NBA, they don't have to, but they want to encourage like sportsmanship. But sometimes
Right.
the other team just leaves.
Hey,
But
see,
it goes
yeah,
down like that. They don't do that in hockey, I don't think. But I don't know.
no, I mean, did hockey change ever since the '90s? Because I could remember that, just going into it, I just see these guys get beat up, start their little fights, and he throw the equipment down to start fighting and call it a
Oh,
day.
listen, at the All Star game last year, there wasn't one. They did this Four Nations thing, and for between America and Canada, off top to start the game. I think you were on. Maybe it was just me and Malik for that show. They just started fighting off top. Like they were
Oh wow.
like 15, 30 seconds in, they were just like, yeah, we don't care. We don't like each other. Screw Canada, screw America. And they just threw down. They started fighting and they were playing in either Montreal or Boston, like one of these big hockey cities. And they just beat the brakes off each other. Everybody got suspended. I shouldn't say everybody. Everybody went to the penalty box. The second line came in. And then the actual game started.
Maybe they need to start doing that with the NFL instead of finding them and all that stuff like that.
Ah,
Just let them fight on the side. Refs start moving everybody out the way, and once they're done, put them in the penalty box.
put a penalty box in the NFL.
Yeah, but
I don't know
create a
about
penalty
that.
box in the NFL. Put them on the side, like they got their black eyes, and side of the penalty box. Call it a day.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know about that, but that's not the you know what? I'm not even gonna throw it out. It's not the craziest idea I've heard, but it's up there. It's top five. We are gonna start with the Thanksgiving games. The first one, traditionally, the Lions.
Pop, you what? Wait, before you
You're breaking up. Good.
think.
Mm-hmm. If you're talking it, I can't hear you.
Chair.
Use the game checks for charity. Okay, I hear you. Understand completely. For the first game, we are going to be talking about the Packers at the Lions. This
Uh,
game is going to decide who will end up in the playoffs. Uh, the Lions are 7-3, are currently in third place, and they have already lost to the Packers the very first game of the season. They played the Bears once, and they played Minnesota once. So they have one
okay.
more game against each of their division foes, starting with Green Bay on Thanksgiving. So this game is huge for both of these teams. The Lions are favored by 2.5. I've seen as high as 3 on other websites, but we're using the MGM line right now. We are not sponsored by them, but it's just what I like to use because it tends to be the most conservative. Packers are 7-3-1, 1 p.m. And the over under is 49.5 points. And who do you have?
I got the Lions in the over in this one. I think they got since they lost the last one, they got to make the comeback and make that push, and they're gonna have to even out the games against these guys. So I'm gonna go with the Lions in the over in this one. I'm gonna make this my lock on this on these Thursday night games. This is gonna be my first lock. We're gonna do one or
I
two locks. Actually, you know what? No locks, I
yeah.
guess.
Well, yeah, we're only picking 4 games, so
Yeah, so no
I
locks,
don't
just
know if
whatever.
I'm gonna lock this one in, but I have much. We'll do one lock. So we'll do one lock. You'll take the Lions because that's the team that you want to pick.
Oh no, no,
I
no.
don't
Because
have.
if we take
Hmm.
a one lock, then I'm just gonna take the Cowboys lock. That next one. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. Huge Cowboys game. The Lions, they really crapped on my whole. They should beat the brakes off of the Giants. Jameis Winston caught a touchdown on them. He shook a linebacker
Yeah, that was
and ran.
awesome.
He caught a 30-yard touchdown pass, a 20
It,
something yard touchdown pass, which was
and the funny
insane
thing
to
about it,
me.
they actually showed that game throughout other stadiums, so a lot of players saw that him doing that.
Yes. And he said, I think I can play tight end. I'm a good enough athlete. And I'm like,
Mm,
this guy's 12 years into
I
his
believe him.
NFL career. This isn't like a young NFL player. Like they did this is like when they tried to throw Tom Brady a touchdown in the Super Bowl against the Eagles the first time, like 2018. I'm like, or 2019? No, 2017. Like, what the hell are they doing?
Nah, this is
He
an
looked a
athletic
thousand
difference
years
right
old
there.
running.
That's an athletic
Yeah.
difference right there. Tom Brady's like
And
a like a
and that was when he was still with the Pats. So this is before he turned 40.
yeah.
This feels insane, but like the fact that the Lions played them so close, I don't know if they're going to win this game because their defense seemed to not be able to stop the New York Football Giants with Jameis, who was killing them downfield with deep passes, and Jordan Love should be able to do the same thing. And those Giants receivers aren't special, and the Packers are receivers are a little bit better. They're not super healthy, but I'm only going to pick the Lions here because Jahmyr Gibbs went off in that game, which is what brought
Oh
them
man,
back.
he killed me in fantasy.
Yeah, he didn't help me in one of the leagues. And Jameis, yeah, and the Giants. I forgot somebody on the Giants who just went off. I'm like, this is insane. Like who has Gunnar Olszewski on their team? But it just goes that way sometimes. But the Lions, I believe, should win this one. If they do, they will win this one by a field goal. I think the safest bet is the over. There's going to be like 1,000,000 points scored in these games. Next up, we got the Chiefs. Seriously, because last week we were like, oh, this terrible slate. These are all lopsided games. Then every single game at the 1 o'clock in the witching hour, like 3:30, all those teams decided to come back. The Bears came back. The Bears, like everybody, the games were just insane last week. We didn't do a recap show this week, but like it was probably the best one of the year for some reason. Like all these teams who were just awful
Yeah,
somehow were going back and forth.
it was awesome Sunday.
It genuinely was. Chiefs at Cowboys. Chiefs are 6-5. They saved their season last week, like going into overtime and getting a win. The Cowboys are 5-5-1. Something interesting I noticed. This is just overall for the AFC. No team is officially eliminated from the playoffs in the AFC.
That's true. It's
Every
kind of weird.
team is technically eligible. So that means that the 1-6 Tennessee Titans, if they win all their games and other things happen for them, they can still technically make the playoffs. So no team has been eliminated in the AFC. The
So
first
you
team
saying
to be
there's still a
eliminated,
chance?
there's still a chance. The only team that's been eliminated in the NFC is the New York Giants. The Saints can still win their division, so they can technically still make it, which is insane. Just so everybody is aware. This is kind of wild. Chiefs Cowboys. I'm gonna go first on this one. The Chiefs are favored by 3. Uh, After seeing their wide receivers and what they did, the Chiefs don't really have very good of a pass rush, as we saw. They don't. They're not good at stopping the run, and they didn't run very well on them last week, which kind of surprised me with Jonathan Taylor, who I was going to champion for MVP. But if he could have put the game away in the ground, I would say he's the MVP. I want to take the Cowboys. Home team, getting points. The Chiefs haven't really gotten it done on the road. They lost to the Jags on the road. I say the Cowboys just beat them through the air, as crazy as that sounds. And yeah, the Cowboys win this one. So I'm taking the Cowboys. No, what am I talking about? I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs
Yeah,
minus 3.
I was wondering.
I'm taking the Chiefs
I thought you
minus
was
3.
going to start going, going along with
You
me
know what
since
it
I
is?
said that earlier.
I'm really impressed by George Pickens, and maybe I just need to take a prop bet on George Pickens over 100 yards receiving. But the
Yeah.
Chiefs look so bad against. I see why they traded for Sauce. They needed a guy like that, and that makes them even better on defense. So I see why the Colts did that. I'm going to take the Chiefs. If they lose this game so publicly, so like the team is going to explode. So I don't know because their season would be over. Them at 6-6, it would pretty much eliminate them from the playoffs. The best they could do, they'd have to win out, and I don't think that's possible for them. This is one of their easier games. But both of these teams are playing for their season. Cowboys 5-5-1. Give me the Chiefs.
Well, as for me, I'm
Yeah.
obligated to say it since I'm in Texas. I'm going to take the Cowboys on this one. It's more than just the offense on the Cowboys. I kind of like what quite obviously I'm doing favoritism here with Q coming there with the Cowboys and straightening that defensive core as far as their run stopping. He's doing a lot. They definitely playing them a different way than the Jets are doing. So I think they can get more stops on defense. So I'm really going to have the Cowboys winning this one, in my opinion. I think it's going to be Cowboys and over. Chiefs definitely have that magical glow, and they have the refs in their back pocket or whatever. But I think they have to lose at least 1 or 2 games still going into the trying to get into the postseason, and this is going to be the 1 of the 2 games. So give me the Cowboys, give me the over in this one. This is going to be my lock.
Yeah. Javante Williams has 896 yards rushing. Kareem Hunt has 457, but he has 7 TDs. Travis Kelce is the leading receiver for the Chiefs. Yeah, and having a really good season for someone who is 36 years old. Okay, he is 36 years old. Yeah, and George Pickens to me is just impressive. But this game could legitimately go either way. But I just think if we're gonna go to the quarterbacks, like Dak's not outdueling a better quarterback, and he doesn't usually. So I got to go with Mahomes. Mahomes from Texas, so his whole family gonna be there acting a fool anyway. So we will see.
With the Kermit voice.
Honestly, yeah. And you know what? You know what the best part about Thanksgiving this week? All the teams playing are good teams now,
Yeah,
except for I
definitely.
guess the Bengals. Joe Burrow is back.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's
Joe
back in
Burrow is
town.
expected to play. They did not get him back with the team at least they've played 11 games, 4-7 or 5-6. They're 3-8. The Ravens are now leading the division, courtesy of my Bears beating the Pittsburgh Steelers last week at home. The
And
Ravens are
Lamar
six and
came
five.
and Lamar's back too.
Lamar's back and healthy. All of these over-unders on Thursday are 49 points or higher. 52 points for the Chiefs and Cowboys, 52 points for the Bengals and Ravens. I would take Lamar for anytime touchdown running, and I would take Jamar Chase for anytime touchdown. Derrick Henry has 9 touchdowns and 871 yards. They act like this guy's career was over 2 years ago just because he was 29. He's now 31 years old, and he has more rushing. He has like 13,000 rushing yards. I think he just passed is it Curtis Martin and a few other guys? Or he just passed 13,000 yards. So he's not in the top 10 yet, but I think he's in the top 12 now. Joe Flacco has more passing yards than Lamar Jackson, which is kind of insane. But Flacco may not be playing. Oh, yeah, Joe Burrow is going to be playing this game. He's expected to return this week. Practicing full the past 2 weeks. Give me the Ravens. They're favored by 7. The Bengals' defense is just horrible. They are just atrocious. The Bears lit them up. Every team's letting them up. The Ravens can't score on nobody, which kind of gives me pause. But if they're not gonna get embarrassed at home They struggled against the Jets last week, like I said. They still managed to cover the spread just to screw me on my bet. But either way, I'm taking the Ravens. This is the one I feel the shakiest about. But I would take the under on this. There's no way these teams are combining for 52 points. There's no way.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same way. I'm taking the Ravens in the under. If you got both teams, it's not really with the Bengals. It's not the offenses that's killing them right now as far as their team is concerned. As you can see, they put in Joe Flacco. They kind of worked before with the other quarterback they had before that when Joe Burrow was out. But and this one basically you got to go with the Ravens. They got the ground and pound team. They at home. They have everything going on. I'm going to take the Ravens, taking the under in this one. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
All right. Next up, we got my other favorite team, the Chicago Bears.
Oh, this is perfect for you and your family.
Going to Philadelphia, yeah, because we're going to be hanging out at my cousin's house. My cousin in Jersey, who just moved up. Well, just he's been over there for a couple of years. Yeah, my cousin O is going to be. We're going to be at his place in Jersey, so we might catch the game. We're going to probably order some wings over there, hang out for a little bit, and yeah, and then I'm coming back up here on Saturday. But point being, Bears Eagles 3 p.m. Black Friday game. Amazon pays a bunch of money for this, and this is probably the first year I'm really going to watch it intently. No disrespect to the two teams that had it before, but I didn't really care. You know,
I believe that
I
was the
used to watch
Jets.
them.
Was one of them.
Was it
So
really? Oh
I
no,
think
that was the first year.
yeah, the first year I think it was the Jets.
Yeah,
It's
everybody made a big
horrible.
deal about the NFL trying to buy another holiday, and I'm like, Black Friday is not a holiday. They don't really have deals anymore. And people have stopped getting up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to go to malls to go shop, and that really wasn't never too big of a deal growing up in New York anyway.
They
Even
kind
as an
of
adult, they didn't have that good of deals.
it's because people kind of changed that. They made it on Thursday. They actually made it on Thursdays now, where you eat you before you eat or whatever, you go shopping type of thing. I'm like, what the? They really literally got
Yeah,
rid of the waking up early on Friday type of thing.
that and also, yeah, I think yeah, there's no reason to go shopping on Thanksgiving. Like I would not show up so the people who have to go to work that day in retail stores don't have to do anything. Just do them a
Yeah,
solid and don't
it's
go.
horrible.
Like do yourself a solid. Just shop online. Pick it up on Saturday. You know what I mean? Reserve it. The deal can't be that good. Let's keep it a buck.
I actually had to do
The
that one
Bears are
year.
getting.
Not
Yeah,
good.
I did too when I was in college working at a supermarket. Um, they had me come in that Wednesday before Thanksgiving was bananas, and I had to go home like that day of, and then yeah, come back. It was pretty terrible actually. Bears 8-3, Eagles 8-3 after losing last week, giving up a 21-point lead to the Eagles, which was insane. The Eagles defense is much better than the Bears defense, but the Bears are getting 7 points, so I'm taking the Bears to cover. The over under for this one is usual 44 and a half. The Bears got a lot of sacks last week. It made it look easy. Pittsburgh looks terrible. Pittsburgh looks old. I know that they had a sack fumble, which is why it wasn't a blowout, but Caleb Williams has 16 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He has 2,500 passing yards. That's more passing yards than Jalen Hurts. Although Hurts has more TDs. And DeAndre Swift has the same amount of rushing touchdowns as Saquon Barkley, which is bananas. Roma Doomsday has less catches, less yards, but twice as many TDs as Devontae Smith. And he didn't even score last week. Um, they're both equal in like time of possession, but the Bears' fourth down efficiency is top 10. The Eagles is bottom third of the league, the number 27. The Bears are number one in interceptions. The only thing that I'm really scared about is a lot of our players that start on defense are hurt. Noah Sewell, Penei Sewell's younger brother, questionable with the elbow. Tariq Stevenson, questionable with a hip. TJ Edwards, formerly of Philadelphia when they won the Super Bowl in 2018. The Bears signed him after that, and his hand is questionable. If expected Lane Johnson is not going to play, Reed Blankenship may not play, Brandon Graham is questionable with the groin, and Landon Dickerson is questionable with the knee. Those are two of their best offensive linemen, Lane Johnson and Landon Dickerson. And Devonta Smith is questionable. And Saquon's questionable with the groin. Azeez Ojulari is on injured reserve. So there's a lot of injuries kind of going both ways here. You know, Jalen Johnson is on IR. Yeah, but that was no. Jalen Johnson, Tyler Gordon, they haven't come back. Tremaine Edwards isn't coming back. Roshan Johnson broke his thumb. A lot of guys have had to get injured. Braxton Jones is on IR, so the Bears have to go to their backup tackle. They signed a couple guys, so I'm leaning on the Bears. What scares me is the defensive tackles. Jalen Carter is really good. He's not the best, but he's really good. But give me the Bears, and hopefully they cover the seven.
All the information you gave me, Ace, all the information you gave everybody out there, makes me want to lean towards the Eagles. I'm sorry, Ace, but this week I kind of, as long as you can't stop that tush push, what's the name is going to keep playing his game. He's going to keep playing the little dump offs and the little tush push is all that name. So give me the Eagles in this one, and give me the. I'll take the. What's the over and under in this one?
44.5. I'm gonna lean towards the over.
Yeah, I'm
as
going to
well.
lean towards the over as well, but I'm going to go towards the Eagles on this one. I really have them. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ace. Your Bears. I don't think they can stop them on this one. Bears is
The
doing good
Bears,
though, but
everybody says the Bears have only beaten bad teams, and it seems that the Eagles' offense is not great, even though they started with a 21-point lead and they were actually moving the ball really well in the first half. But as we've seen, it can all fall apart. So unless they find some answers, or the Bears just play terrible on defense, the Bears play their best defensive game. I think they can actually win this one. I think they
well,
actually can.
but the reason why the Eagles can't find their offense is because somebody named Jalen Hurts is just being petty. He's not trying to pass it to certain people, and he's not letting other people run it.
Yeah,
Saquon Barkley run it as much as he's supposed to be. He
but
wants to be
that's
the
the
star,
BS thing, right? Like he is the star and he makes the most money.
right?
But
But he wants to
that's
be
the
the
thing
one
to me.
star.
Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible when you don't let nobody else shine and you keep winning by tush pushes and stuff.
So you think there's a disconnect on the team and they're upset with he's not calling the plays in the huddle.
Yeah, but
Like
he can change. He can run it the way he wants when the height comes.
the
It could be a
stats
pat. It
for
could be
last
a
week game, he threw 39 times, right? So the offensive coordinator took the message. He threw 39 times. He threw one touchdown, 289-yard passing yards, QB rating of 99. Saquon only got 10 carries, which is where I really think they messed up. But Saquon did
mm-hmm.
fumble towards the end of that game, which was huge. AJ Brown had 10 targets, 8 catches for 110 yards, and a touchdown.
He decided to go his way. Let's see the game before that though. When AJ
Devonta
Brown was
Smith, yeah, Devonta Smith, 11 targets. Saquon Barkley, 8 targets. Saquon caught for 52 yards. So they decided to basically throw instead of run.
right.
And Hurts got 2 rushing TDs that were, super close. In terms of fantasy, he did great. Or if you took him on an 8-time TD, he did great, which I did. But yeah, I don't know, man. You know what? Maybe I'm kind of nuts for thinking the Bears can win this one. If they just did that
Hey,
to the Cowboys, and they have a much better defensive tackle. No disrespect to the Bears, but Gervon Dexter is good, but he's not as good as Quentin Williams. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna be honest here. Yeah,
yeah, if you
Eagles
believe the
should
team's
win
gonna
it,
win,
but we'll see.
yeah.
I'll tell you this: if the Bears win this game and go to 9-3, they're winning the division. They're winning the division because they still have a game against the Lions, and they have 2 games against Green Bay. 2 games.
I saw that early on a different chat thingy. Let's see if I can pull it up.
All right.
All the
Well, you're talking
games
about
there.
that. I'm gonna